Welcome to the Scalpel of Truth, the podcast providing cutting insight on how to rise to the top in the medical aesthetics industry with your host, Leisa Krause, aka the Bitch and Beautician. That's Leisa with an E, which stands for explicit, because in this surgical suite, she won't sugarcoat the truth, and yes, there will be some seriously salty language, not suitable for sensitive souls, children, nor pets. As a business consultant, Leisa shares the knowledge and lessons she's gleaned over 30 years in the industry, time spent working directly with patients, managers, and med spa owners alike. Her practice growth strategies are sharp, her stories and wit sharper, and her panache for bringing the spice the sharpest. So buckle up, bichachos. Leisa is about to slice and dice another episode of The Scalpel of Truth.
Hey, bichachos, welcome back to the Scalpel of Truth podcast, where we cut through the fluff and get straight to the point about making your med spa a huge success. I'm Leisa, aka the Bitch and Beautician, and today we're talking about something every business owner dreams of, and that's building the ultimate dream team with top-tier talent. We're diving into how to hire right, train smart, and keep your top talent from jumping ship. So buckle up, bichachos. There's no sugarcoating anything today. This is your crash course in building a team of revenue-generating business builders that kick ass and take names. Here's the legal part I need to read. This podcast is presented solely for educational entertainment purposes. Guys, I'm just your beauty business bitch. I'm not a licensed therapist or an HR representative, nor am I a lawyer. This platform's used to share my experiences with what's made me a successful service provider, a manager, and a business consultant for those who I coach. Got it? Beautiful. Guys, there's a shit ton to cover on this episode, so I'm going to break this baby down into about 7 segments, okay? So here we go. We're starting with segment number 1. And it is going to be all about defining your ideal candidate because you're not going to settle for mediocre boat anchors, okay? So we're going to start with the basics here. If you don't know who you're looking for, how the hell are you ever going to find them? We need to start by defining your ideal candidate, and it isn't about making a wish list a mile long. It's about being realistic and ruthless in your expectations. So the first thing we want to look at is skills and qualities. These are going to be your non-negotiables. First off is your technical skills. Your candidate needs to know their shit. So whether it's laser treatments, Botox, managing the front desk, don't compromise on the skills no matter what. No matter the amount of charm they have, nothing is going to make up for a botched treatment. So first off, they need to have the technical skills. Then they've got soft skills. We're in a people business. So empathy, communication, the ability to read the fucking room are absolutely essential. And if they're not clicking with patients or the team, then they're definitely out. Then we've got being a clinic culture fit. So ask yourself, would I want to have dinner with this person? Or spend time with this person, go away on a weekend? If the answer is no, then they are not the right fit. Your team should vibe with each other because culture clashes, that's going to tank productivity faster than you can say paycheck collector. Picture your ideal candidate. What's their background? What drives them? Are they the type of person who stays late, gets the job done, or do they clock in and clock out right when the hour strikes? This persona isn't just nice to have, it's going to be your secret weapon for filtering out duds. Okay, on to segment 2. Crafting job descriptions that don't suck. Okay, guys, there are so many job descriptions that I read that are just bland and basic as fuck. If you're hiring top tier talent and you're attracting them, you need to have a really exciting and attention grabbing job description or ad, okay? So your job description can't read like a legal document. If you do have something like that, you're definitely doing it wrong. So here's how to write a job description or a job ad that makes it really exciting for those rock stars that you want to apply. Start out by cutting the babbly shit and getting right to the point. You want to start with a bang. So you want to say something like, we're a fast-growing med spa looking for a badass aesthetic nurse who's ready to hit the ground running. Like, boom, you've got their attention. Be specific about the role. What exactly are they going to be doing? What skills do they need to pull it off? If you need someone who can juggle a million tasks without breaking a sweat, then fucking say so. Say so up front. This is the part where you're going to lay out your expectations and you're going to be clear and direct in your communication of what you're looking for. If you're looking to hire an expert and a high standard, talented individual, you need to have open, honest communication right from the start in what you are looking for. If they require having social media as a component of their employment, and you guys know I don't give a rat's rosy red ass if they are an independent contractor, if it's an employee, my expectation that is everyone has a social media component. Everyone has a non-negotiable providing patients with at-home solutions, aka recommending selling retail products. I got to say again, it just grates my cheese and grinds my gears when I go in and we got people that are selling less than like 15% of what they're bringing in services in retail. Like, boo, you're not an expert. They need to be able to sell retail products. Everyone needs to look like an industry expert or an industry professional. So you need to look the part and you need to define what that is as clearly as possible. Things that I see where people are professing to be experts that don't look the part. It's like walking into a clinic where somebody's got sunglasses on their head or they've got baggy sweatshirts or baggy pants that aren't scrubs. Like, I know there's a lot of lifestyle influencers out there, lots of nurses, lots of laser techs trying to also be influencers on Instagram and have that as a component. The baggy aloe sweatshirts and stuff, amazing for the gym, amazing for lounging. I know that the rage is that it's super cute, but it looks unprofessional as fuck when you are in a med spa. You don't look like a professional. You don't. It looks like you could give me a tip or two on like doing yoga. That's not what we're going for. So again, I've done something all about what your nails should look like. And I'm not saying you need a full face of makeup like me. I like to wear every ounce of makeup I own. You don't need to do that. I'm not saying go out and everybody needs breast dogs and nose jobs. I'm saying look the part. Look like an industry professional. Do not have a messy bun on the top of your head and wrinkled scrubs or something that doesn't indicate that you're not the janitor of the facility. Okay? Look the part. When you state they need to be an A-game player and you're going to be holding them accountable, it's going to weed out those lazy fucks you don't want to hire anyways. Next up in that ad, you want to sell the dream. Why should they want to work with you? Top talent's not looking for a job. They're looking for the job. Highlight the growth opportunities, any ongoing training and education, any perks that's going to make your med spa stand out. So what does that look like? Are they going to be attending one conference a year? Do you have flexible summer hours? Maybe team building events, quarterly bonuses if they hit targets and those are reached, a competitive compensation plan with health benefits, 2 pairs of gorgeous fig scrubs every 6 months, a footwear allowance that they can spend on luxury sneaks every 6 months, a gym membership, wellness days. Like, what's your key point of differentiation? Top talent is going to be looking for those things, or they're going to be joining your competition. Then you want to be realistic, but aspirational. Okay. So set expectations high, but don't appear to only be hiring unicorns. Okay. So if someone needs 3 to 5 years experience, but you're willing to train the right person, say it. The last thing you want is somebody to be scared off like a great candidate because your ad was too demanding.
3.
We're moving on into segment 3, interviewing like a pro. So no fluffy shit allowed. I like to do a phone interview that assesses their phone etiquette. Then I like to have them come in for an in-person interview and to do a hands-on working interview and some shadowing in the afternoon. Now, I want to remind you so that you don't forget, if you're looking for top-tier talent, you're interviewing them, but they are also interviewing you and your team to see if it's a good fit for them. Interviews aren't all about small talk. They're about finding the right person and seeing if that person sitting across from you is the real deal. So here's how to cut through some of that bullshit. The first thing you need to do is ask behavioral questions, and you want to dig deep on this. So you need to ask things that you're going to find out if they've dealt with a real situation. You're going to say, like, tell me about a time that you had to deal with a difficult patient or a complication. You want somebody can handle pressure with grace. They're going to give you what happened, the real deal, and how they handled it. And you might want to ask how they could have handled that better or what they learned from that situation. Then for the practical test, put up or shut up. Don't take their word for it. You got to see them in action. Have them perform a treatment or solve a problem they will face on the job. So I like them to bring in a couple products that they're using at home, and I love for them to sell those products to me. Selling products is every single person's job at the med spa. You need to talk intelligently and be able to educate patients on how they can use our ingredient-rich skincare at home to maximize and optimize results that they're going to be getting from the treatments they receive from our med spa. Okay. So they need to be able to sell me on why they love those two products. That will be able to get you gauging their sales experience. And in my bitch ass opinion, if they can't walk the walk, you don't want to waste any more time listening to them try and talk the talk. Next up is clinic culture check. You want to know, are they one of us, right? This is where I like to get the team involved. Have them meet with other staff members to see how they fit in. If they're not meshing with your current crew, it's better to find out before you hire them. I always like to do a deep dive on the candidate's social media platforms, and I ask other industry professionals, because we know this industry is so incestuous, if they've heard anything regarding the candidate. Take that stuff with a grain of salt. You can't believe everything you hear, but if you've got smoke coming from every direction, you want to bet your ass you're going to wind up with a fire.
4.
Onboarding that doesn't suck. Okay, we just don't want to suck, guys. So I'm trying to set you up for success. So what you want to do is set them up for success. So I want to say at this point in your search for top talent, congratulations, you found your perfect hire. Now don't screw that up with a half-assed onboarding process. Here's how you're going to make sure that your new team member is hitting the ground running. So we've got structured onboarding. No winging it. Top tier talent's going to know if you have your shit together by what that onboarding process looks like. And you don't want to be throwing out any red flags as an employer. So have a clear plan in place before they walk through the door. The first 90 days should be mapped out with your training, your shadowing, your regular check-ins. Don't toss them into the deep end and see if they can swim, okay? If you need assistance with this, I encourage you to set up a discovery call with me. We can look at what your onboarding process is and get you some help to make sure that you're crushing it and coming off as someone who's high-end yourself. Because honestly, high-end recognizes high-end. Talent recognizes talent. You want to make sure that this process is fabulous. Then we look at mentorship. So that's more than just a buddy system, guys. You want to pair them up to have them kind of shadow some of your seasoned pros so they can show them how the run of the land is and how they can climb the ropes in this business. This isn't just about them learning the job. It's about integrating them into the culture and making sure they feel supported. I'd recommend them having a medical facial or some type of treatment so that they can see what it's like to be a patient at your med spa. Have them get a consultation from your A-game rock star players with the most experience so that you can show them what the expectation is. It's one thing to tell them, but it's another thing to show them. And I want you to have this experience exactly like a patient would. So that's everything from a consultation, treatment, product sales pitch, follow through, rebooking. See what that process looks like start to finish, so that there's no secrets and no like, oh, I didn't realize. No, you want them to be fully embracing what your membership is, what your signature treatments are, all of those things together on a level that they know what to deliver, and keep it fun and interactive. You want to keep it engaging. Onboarding doesn't have to be boring. You want to mix things up with hands-on training, team lunches, online learning from your vendors. The more engaged they are, the faster they're going to learn.
5.
Segment number 5, all about building a positive clinic culture. So no toxic bullshit allowed. Okay? A positive clinic culture isn't just a buzzword. It's literally the secret sauce. Like literally the secret sauce here. It keeps your team happy and productive. And we're going to go over how to build one. First off is your communication. I've talked about this, I think, on every episode. You got to keep it real. No one likes a boss who's MIA or plays favorites. Keeping communication open and honest is the key here. So that means regular team meetings, one-on-ones, an open door policy. All of those things are going to go a long way in building trust. Then we've got recognition and rewards, which is not all about the money. Everybody loves a bonus, sure. But don't underestimate the power of a simple thank you or public recognition in front of their peers. You want to celebrate the wins. I don't give a shit if those are big or small. You want to make your team know that they are absolutely appreciated. That can be buying Starbucks here and there. It can be buying lunches. It can be doing pizza parties. You don't want to reward with pizza parties. Go back and listen to the episode on that. You don't want to be that boss. Recognition goes a long way, especially when you're dealing with top tier talent. Okay. If they're not recognized and they're not celebrated, they're going to go somewhere else. Next up is team building. Mandatory fun. Seriously, guys, you need to get out of the clinic and do some fun shit together. So maybe that's happy hour at the local watering hole. Maybe that is a weekend retreat. Maybe that is a yoga session. Maybe that's team lunches. These things like outings and things like that, that's going to build bonds and make your team stronger. A strong team is going to have you crushing it against the competition.
6.
Okay, segment 6, continuous training and development. Your dream team needs to keep growing and improving. So here's how you're going to keep them sharp. First off is ongoing training. To keep them top tier and at the top of their game, you want to schedule regular training sessions with your vendors or workshops with different types of business consultants. And I mean me specifically, okay? So let's book a workshop to get your team trained to the tits, okay? Keep your team up to date on the latest trends and techniques. This isn't about maintaining standards. This is about pushing them to be the best they can be. You want them to be experts. They want to be experts. This is how you're going to do it. It's team trainings. I recommend also encouraging certifications. So investing in their future, depending on how long the team member's been with you, you want to offer financial support or assistance for additional certifications or specialized trainings. Not only does this make your team better, it also is going to show your commitment to their career growth. There are templates that I have for this, for educational agreement templates. It is so robust, I have to tell you. The Bitchin' Templates package, you should snag that. If you're a genius that realizes that time is money and you're not interested in recreating the wheel, I want you to reach out and snag the templates package. Honestly, it's a game changer for your practice. Toot toot, did you hear that? That was my own horn, okay? I have made those templates for years. They have been edited, updated. It's so that you don't have to do it. Personal development plans. So no cookie cutter solutions here, okay? Sit down with each team member quarterly and create a tailored development plan and a SWOT analysis. I already talked about SWOT analysis in the past, okay? Really important. What that is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. You want to go over this in your onboarding, okay? And quarterly from there. So what is their personal development plan with you? What are we starting with over that first 3 months, okay? So what do they want to achieve? How are you going to help them get there? Regularly review these plans and adjust them when needed. Sometimes you need to pivot. Sometimes it's, I wanted to do this, but you know what? Now I've identified key strengths that I want to do something else. So you've got to revisit these. These should be live plans that you can edit and tweak and pivot from time to time.
7.
Okay, segment 7 is retention strategies. You've now got your dream team. How are you going to keep your top talent happy? Okay, so let's look at how do we keep them sticking around, right? Number 1 is going to be competitive compensation, okay? You can't be a cheap ass. So getting into this industry is super expensive. So it's going to be what you can afford. Your talent is going to be one of your biggest expenses, okay? So pay people what they're worth. If you aren't offering competitive salaries, benefits, don't be surprised if they jump ship for a better offer. Then career growth. We've talked about this. Show them a path forward. Make it clear that there's room for growth within your company. So does that look like a promotion, leadership opportunities, educational opportunities, challenges? Show them that a future with you is always exciting. Again, what conference are we going to next year? What's our plan for hitting targets? What are our bonuses going to be? Maybe there's something that we do exciting for team building, right? Change it up. Always keep it super exciting. Then there's feedback and engagement. All right, listen up. So regular check-ins with your team once a month, 15 to 30 minutes for a temperature check. I love calling this a temperature check because it ensures that none of your staff is running a fever and going to go crazy and quit, take your patients in your book of business, and convince your team members to join them. Okay? So if something isn't working, check in with your team and fix it. You want to keep the team engaged and valued. That's what's going to keep them around. Another important point to touch on is loyalty through that clinic culture. Make them proud to work with you. I like to say work with you. I think it's nice to avoid saying working for you. Even though they're working for you, it just feels better and more aligned with expert top tier talent to say working with you. So you want to build that clinic culture so that your team's proud to be a part of your clinic. When they feel like they're a part of something, they're going to be less likely to leave. And especially if you are constantly working on reputation management, making sure that you've got an amazing reputation in the industry, with colleagues, with patients, with vendors. Okay, reputation in this industry is everything, and top tier talent is going to start dropping off if you've got shit going south with your reputation. Holy hell, guys. You got the cow today for sure, and I think you might have got some milk for free in there today. So although this episode was robust, there are many specific touch points that go into hiring top-tier talent and then retaining them. Compensation structures, things like that. Bonus structures, profit sharing. Guys, I have different scenarios that I like to present my clients with for the ultimate for hiring. Okay, so I would love to work with you and give you some assistance on how to attain top tier talent. This is just a taste. So I want to help you work with those, and I want to help you fire those paycheck collectors that are the mediocre boat anchors in your practice. So not only do I want you to hire top tier talent, I want you to machete factor and fire those boat anchors that are dragging you down. Building a dream team, guys, it isn't easy, but with the right strategies in place, it's totally doable. So from defining your ideal candidate to keeping your top tier talent, these no BS tips I'm hoping are going to help you level up your expectations and really gain traction on hiring top tier. And you always want to be hiring, right? Somebody on your team might tell you they're expecting. They might tell you they're moving. They might tell you you have no idea what. You always want to be hiring top tier talent. And when you're always hiring and you always have somebody in the background, it also makes sure that your team's like, holy shit, I don't want to be replaced by somebody who's better than me. Okay? So, Bichachos, thanks for tuning into the Scalpel of Truth podcast. If you're ready to take your med spa to the next level, I want you to head to my website. It's vanityempireconsulting.com to set up a discovery call to see how I can best support your practice. Don't forget to subscribe to the show. I'd love for you to leave a review and share this episode with your fellow medical aesthetic industry professionals. And as always, if you've got questions or ideas for future episodes, hit me up. And until next time, I want you to keep hustling and building that dream team. So stay sharp, stay focused, and stay fabulous.
Go away, just see things stay the way they are.